Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Karpo Gaming and another Destiny 2 Renegades video. Well, we're back at it again. We have a brand new exotic quest called the Praxic Path, which will give us a new dark metal crystal for our blade, which is pretty awesome. Today, I'm walking through you step by step. You know what to do. Lego! Once again, thanks for watching everybody. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with today's video. In order to kick off this quest, you're going to have to first beat the Renegades quest, and then you'll be able to pick up Praxic's Path. This quest, step number 1, will have us going right back over to Tharsis, and we need to speak with a certain NPC to kick off this quest line. So make your way over to the Tharsis Cantina and approach Anur. After you finish approaching Anur, the quest will update. Now we need to sharpen our skills with our Praxic blade by doing light attacks, blade throws, and reflections. So let's do this. In order to get this done, and I got it done rather easy, you can get it done pretty much anywhere you want to, but I went to a specific place because you need to get these kills yourself. So for me, I went over to an old spot on the moon and went into Sorrow's Harbor. Yes, there's a public event that's happening over here. You can use that if you want, but you need to get these kills yourself. So follow the direction that I'm going. Over here is where we had the old raid at. We're going to be using this instance over here that spawns in a whole bunch of Vex enemies to basically get this completed in roughly about 5 minutes. So let's do this. Might as well get some reflections over here and take out these enemies to progress our progress. 2 out of 15. Let's get going. Now, as we finish taking out all of these enemies over here, the spot where the old raid used to be at is right over here. So follow the direction that I'm going, and over here there's going to be a whole bunch of different Vex that will spawn in. All right, let me go ahead and finish killing off these enemies, getting some more reflections, and we pretty much are almost done. For those of you who don't know, just hold down that button and then use the verticals to fire it right back at the enemies. And now we're 8 out of 15. All right, cool. Now the spot that I'm talking about is right over here. And remember, you need to get these kills yourself. So go in solo and get her done. Over here, there's going to be a ton of different Vex enemies that spawn in. And like I said previously, you can pretty much get this done anywhere. But because you need to get these kills yourself, this is a nice instance where it's just you by yourself. You don't have to worry about anybody stealing your kills. So what I did is I went over here and I pretty much got all of my kills except for one done within 5 minutes. So as you can see, I focused in on first my reflections, and then I went on to charge kills just because there's a lot of enemies over here, and well, you can get a lot of charge kills, and then just go with the regular light attacks. And that's basically what I did. And before you know it, I was pretty much almost done with this part of the quest. And like I said, it took me about 5 minutes to get her done. And then after that, I just went ahead and spawned back into the Sorrow's Harbor to complete this quest. So as you can see, I'm 23 out of 35. Finish up getting some more blade kills right here, and then finally take out the boss, which will put me right at 34 out of 35. So yeah, pretty cool. Almost got all of the kills by doing this, so I think this is a really good spot to get her done. Like I said, for me, I just needed one more kill, so I just went back into Sorrow's Harbor. You can pretty much go anywhere. Like I said, this is what I did. Next, we need to go and get our meditation on for step number 3. So we need to head back into Tharsis and then meditate on our Praxis blade. So head over here through your portal, then head over to Tharsis, and then we need to spawn in right over here, turn around, and there's going to be a small little mark that we can jump up to meditate on our blade. So come over here and meditate. Now after you finish meditating, and then we'll tell us to purchase a Praxis blade mod. So for the next step number 4, we need to purchase a mod. So head to where the marker is leading us to, and right over here we'll be able to purchase a mod. Pretty cool. It's going to be a defensive mod for our Praxis blade. The next step we'll update step number 5, which will be to basically equip the mod. So equip the mod like so, and now we have ourselves a defensive form, which is pretty cool because blocking an attack will grant you a little bit of ammo, and afterwards you can deal a little bit extra damage. Pretty nice. Now that we have that done, we need to head back into the same mission that we get to get this done for step number 6, Fire and Ice, the exotic mission. So I'm gonna fire up this mission. Here is the full Fire and Ice mission. Gonna take about 25-30 minutes to get this done. I'll chime in afterwards. Once again, enjoy.
The Imperium hasn't released its hold on that vault, Guardian. We need you to sweep and clear.
I'm glad you've returned to business, Honora.
Back to kick me while I'm down, Eris? You're mine.
I mean that in all sincerity. We need you, Mahal. I just came to ask. How you living?
Not well. This disaster was our fault. My fault.
It's on Bale, not you.
I still intend to make amends. I don't know how yet. I'm glad to have you along, Lorne.
We've done our best to control what we can in regards to the transmutations. But we can only do so much. Parts of the Andes are full in copper. The mangroves of Georgia are suffocating on argon. But nowhere is more changed than the Great Lakes. The nature of this war has shifted. The fronts are in our ecologies themselves. I'd like you all, Guardian especially, to know. But I realize I have been acting in fear. Ever since Taj.
The death of a ghost changes the Guardian irrevocably, Zavala. The light and its gifts aside, there can never be a replacement for that which brought us into this world.
Yes, but there's no excuse. I've been in this tower too long. Fear has made me forget the universe around us.
What are you saying, sir?
Nothing. Eyes up. The Guardian needs you.
Cue Ball, checking in on you. Eris seems worried. You good?
I'm glad I didn't interfere in your operation.
I'm used to it, Z. And honestly, I didn't do it for you. Water under the bridge.
This vault should be a reminder that Dredgen Bale is still out there. The sentiment he broadcast to the city during the Tharsis Ghost Massacre? That Guardians should not lead humanity? Is shared by a growing minority.
That thought might be the one thing Bale's right about.
Elaborate, Mahal. What do you mean, the one thing Bale's right about?
Bale was right about that. We should be protecting the people, not shepherding them. The Praxics, the Vanguard.
Nice, and just like that, we are on step number 7. We now need to speak with Arnor back on Tharsis. So we're going to head back over to Tharsis, and we're going to speak with Arnor to complete this quest. So it's going to be pretty cool, because now, after we finish speaking to Arnor, we're going to get ourselves a brand new blade. That's right. It's the Dark Matter Crystal. A blue crystal, so if you are a fan of blue lightsabers, well, this is going to be your way to get this mod. Pretty nice. The Dark Matter Crystal has been acquired for the Plaxis blade, and now you have yourself a nice blue lightsaber in Destiny 2 Renegades. But for right now, that's pretty much the end of the video. Hope you truly enjoyed it. Now, as always, if you're new to the channel, how you doing? Welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. Right here at Karpo Game, upload a wide variety of videos ranging from updates, tips and tricks, guides and news, and a whole lot more. So once again, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Later.